but is to introduce Lirio Márquez-D'Acunti, who is the Executive Director of the Vieques Conservation and Historical Trust in the island of Vieques, which is, she can explain where that is, but over to you, Lirio.
Oh, good evening, or good morning, depending on which part of the world you're listening in from. First of all, I'd like to explain those sounds that you hear around me. I don't know whether you hear them. I live in a rural area and it rained this afternoon, so you're listening to our nighttime music, which are the coffee frogs. Greetings to all from the island municipality of Vieques in the Caribbean archipelago of Puerto Rico. I thank GLISPA and the organizers of this event for having invited me to share our work and learn from the other participating island organizations. The bioluminescent Bay of Vieques is considered by some the brightest in the world because of its high density of the bioluminescent plankton Pyrodinium biamense. The images that you see on the right-hand side of the slide, both the photographs and the video, are from the nighttime glow of the bay when you stir the waters. This spectacular ecosystem is a source of pride for the community and the main attraction for the tourism-based industry of our island, on which many families depend directly or indirectly. The surrounding mangrove forest is a vital part of this ecosystem. On September 2017, Hurricane Maria, with 155-mile-per-hour winds, stormed through the Antilles, destroying everything in its path, including the mangroves that line the bioluminescent bay. Growing nearest to the water, the full impact of the winds and the storm surge generated by the hurricane destroyed our red mangroves. The red mangroves lost all their leaves and were decapitated, what is known as crown loss. When this happens, the red mangroves die because they don't grow new shoots like other trees. The other three mangrove species in our forest, black mangrove, white mangrove, and bottom mangrove, also suffered, but not as much. Assisted reforestation was necessary, since natural recuperation can take as long as 30 years. Next slide, please. As soon as the hurricane passed, we were determined to restore our mangrove forest. With the support of VCHT members, academia, local staff of various government agencies, local businesses, and local and stateside foundations, a nursery was built to propagate mangroves for the reforestation effort. This effort also created local jobs and economy, supremely important in a small island such as ours. The nursery, which runs on solar energy, is also a demonstration site for local and visiting students and adults. Next slide, please. A specialized system for growing red mangroves under an inundation regime with varying degrees of salinity was designed by a Viequense biologist. Seeds and seedlings of the other three species are grown in soil with controlled irrigation until they are big and strong for transplanting in the bay. We harvest propagules and seeds from the same forest. It took about a year and a half after the hurricane for the remaining live mangroves to begin to produce propagules and seeds. And it takes approximately 6 to 8 months in the nursery for them to be ready to be transplanted in the forest. Currently, we have over 2,000 mangroves at different stages of growth in the nursery. In the forest, tasks include planting, documenting, replanting, monitoring relative humidity and soil temperature, among other field work. This year, we have planted over 500 individuals and will continue to do so for the following years. Next slide. This project restores the mangrove forest that protects the bay's meandering shape, which is what prevents the bioluminescent bloom from washing out to sea. The bioluminescent pyrodinium also needs nutrients from the mangroves to survive. The forest provides other benefits like the capture of blue carbon, habitat for marine species, and protection from hurricanes. Besides the obvious environmental benefits, the mangrove project provides multiple social benefits. It is an educational tool for local and visiting students, members of the community, and even selected government officials. It has created permanent jobs. At least 3 Vieques small companies have been hired as short-term contractors at different moments, and many of the supplies have been purchased locally, which in a small island is surely an important contribution to the local economy. Next slide. Being labor intensive, a project of this nature requires money, funding for training, for hiring, for contracting, for supplies and materials. Funding is crucial for this and all of the other projects that we've seen here today. This is a project, but it also requires time, because this is a project that develops within the time scale of nature. My recommendation for policymakers is support and finance nature-based solutions and community projects. Addressing climate change requires and will benefit from the effort and wisdom of all. Thank you very much.